Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Adoption Podcast, episode 12. Man, it's been a week, man. It's been busy. It's been so tough to make clips, and I hate the model. The stupid AI thing with their stupid tokens is so
Mhm.
annoying because when I clip up like our podcast episodes, it takes like
Yeah.
100 credits. I only get 300 per month. So I gotta
Ooh.
milk that like
Yeah.
crazy, but like I don't like the model because I ran out of credits. Long story short, I ran out of credits, and I've been waiting like freaking 2 weeks to get credits back because I blew through them between the Tuesday stream and my stream on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh man, and I don't have time to manually edit. I need
Oh,
a
no.
it takes me a full day to like fully manually edit because I'm
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist when I do things. Like I'm so
Just, like,
nitpicky.
edit off the beginning. You can set the time to only,
Mhm.
like, a certain portion of the show. So if you know, like, the meat of the good clips
That's
were during.
exactly what I've been doing, the
Yeah.
trim the fat,
Yeah.
but what I did find out is, CapCut actually has free well, with your subscription, it has some free minutes, and then also whatever you get for your subscription, also clips, edits and does a little bit of, shorts for you. The problem is it's not as good as Opus. Opus has the whole calendar, I can schedule my whole
I
calendar out,
know.
but I found a little cheat code for anybody that's using Opus and anybody who's using CapCut. You can take a video that you've previously put on Opus that's already been used, but you pick a clip that you haven't used, bring it that time down to like 1 second and mute it, and then you can upload your completed video from CapCut. That way you can
Mhm.
schedule it out to be, and it doesn't use any tokens, and you can schedule it out
Interesting.
already to all your platforms. Yeah, that's my little workaround. So I edit it on CapCut, bring it to Opus, and send it to all the platforms from there. So
Nice.
a little bit of alpha for
Sorry,
you
I'm
guys.
listening. I promise. I just forgot to, like, tweet the space literally anywhere. I've just been sitting here listening to your
You
riveting
go ahead,
story
you
about
get the word out. I'm gonna go through the only piece of news I have,
Okay.
which I thought was pretty cool, or scary. The SEC urges immediate withdrawal of the Litecoin, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Doge ETF filings. Oh my goodness, they're withdrawing the ETFs.
What?
Why? I know, right? I thought we were bullish. Anyways, I read into it. I'm like, holy shit, this is really bad news. And then actually, it's funny when I saw Litecoin
We're so not back.
when I saw Litecoin, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But it's I kind of they didn't want to reply back to me, but Litecoin was like showing something like an art exhibit, and they had Litecoin in there. It's like, oh, beautiful art. I said, what museum is this? They didn't reply back.
Ignore. No.
So,
We don't need
anyways,
that.
basically what's happened is the ETFs when they were initially put in, they were put in with I believe it was called a 19-4 ETF filing, and yeah, 19B-4 filing, and
Can you explain that in English, please?
honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. Like you guys will have to look it up or use ChatGPT.
They do that
Um,
on purpose to confuse us. They make it all sound so complicated that we're just like, well, I'm not even gonna
yeah,
try that happen to you, bro.
you don't know what a 19B4 is? Come on. But like,
What's wrong with you?
so basically they've made a new standard of filings with the SEC, after the new head of the SEC is gone. So right now we're looking at, they withdrew them so they can re-put them in the new system so it'll be faster. Because if they left it, from what I read, if they left it in the 19B-4, there would be a massive delay. So now they're gonna refile them again, and they should go in a lot quicker.
Okay.
So look for that to come in, and you might even see, like, this year, by the end of this year, might have ETFs for all these coins. I was laughing with my wife today. We're getting my daughter ready for bed. I'm like, can you imagine, like 1% of like hedge funds, like they put like a percentage of their hedge fund portfolio in Dogecoin. Like, you made it.
What
All
a
you
time to be alive.
like meme coins are in like traditional finance. Like that's
It's
it. Like,
crazy. Could you imagine? I mean, I grew up in the 80s, and like early, so I was in like middle school and stuff in the 90s. Like, I can't even imagine like sitting there playing Oregon Trail, learning how to like use the keyboard, and they'd teach you on some of the games that we would be at this point in my lifetime, right? Like just the acceleration of being like kind of a boomer or whatever and witnessing that this change, and now we're at the point where we just prompt and the computer gives you whatever you want, it's just
It's crazy.
It's mind
Of
blowing.
what you can do. And speaking of prompting and bringing and making anything you want, our guest today, Thrax, is
Ooh.
building an anime actually on the blockchain, um, built with AI. He's using the blockchain in a really unique way. So let's bring on Thrax. Let's have a chat with him and see what he's doing and what he's building the space and get his story.
Let's do it.
Hello, Thrax.
Hey, hey,
How are you,
how's it
brother?
going, guys?
I'm good, man. How are
Very
you?
good.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
So, welcome to the Adoption Pod, where the name of the game here is mass adoption. We always want to bring other different types of platforms and people in from different walks of life and find out about their story, how they got into crypto, and what they're building in the space. Because my big thing here for mass adoption is different strokes for different folks, and there's multiple different things in crypto that leads to mass adoption. It's you like kind of like what you're doing with your anime, using the blockchain in a unique way. It's just creative, really smart people. And we met on the weekend at the AVAX gaming event. We had really good conversations. Honestly, we probably could have talked for another hour.
I'm jealous, by the way. Screw you guys.
Yeah, it was a good time. It wasn't a huge gathering. It was kind of, honestly, it was more intimate and it was kind of nice. Like a small room. We were doing some gaming, playing some like old games. Like back, we went tried to play some Counter Strike, but the
1.6, not
like
even just Counter-Strike,
like high
1.6,
back to my
dude.
high school days. Honestly, it was a trip through memory lane. It was great. And then we went out to eat, but you know what? It was great conversations all around. And obviously, you can see new merch. I'm telling you, Avax has the best merch. Like this is better than some
Shout
shirts.
out Vinny P.
This is better than most shirts I have. Like this is an Adidas freaking golf shirt. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And next week I got something special I'm gonna wear on the show because it's Canada. But
Nice.
Thrax, tell me about. I'm always interested to learn. Tell me about how you got into crypto, how you found your way into the crypto space.
Yeah, so getting into crypto was kind of like a friend of mine annoyed me until I bought some Bitcoin. Um, and this was like a very long time ago. And then I lost my wallet, and then I didn't care because it had crashed, and then it came back, and I had to find my keys, and that was a whole adventure. And
But
that
you
was
did
like my
find them.
I did find them. I mean, it wasn't worth as much as I thought it was. Like I remembered buying more, but yeah, like I found my keys, and that kind of like got me into the investing side of things. Like I say investing, I'm not an investor. I'm bad at buying coins.
Guilty.
uh, I'm
You're
just too
amongst
emotional.
friends here, Thrax.
Good to know, because I'm not a trader. I like realized very quickly that that's not my bag, but I realized also that I'd still love the tech and the space. So I started basically applying my day job to the space, which is I've graduated in graphic design, but I moved into video production and marketing, and I found very quickly that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people that were around. I enjoyed the innovation and the lack of judgment of what tools you're going to use to do things. Like, uh, I'm one of those people that is a firm believer that you can't just let technology pass you by because you insist on being traditional with the way you're doing things.
Hmm.
Um, and that's not to say like don't do things the right way or don't do things to a high level of quality, but like when Adobe Illustrator came out, people didn't shun that because it was, too easy. Um, when Adobe Illustrator put in a function where you could click and image trace something close to something, like an approximation, it's not like a replacement for a designer, but it helps the designer do their job.
It's one
Mm-hmm.
Um,
thing that humans have done from the beginning of time. Even when we were Neanderthals, we built tools to make our lives easier. That's all it
yeah,
is. It's just tools. It's just the monkeys making, getting sticks and getting rocks, and instead of using their fingers, it's the same idea. It just looks different.
Yeah.
very true. The one downside, though, I will say, well, it's not one downside, there's a few downsides, but the one big downside that I'm seeing is that there is a significantly harder time to tell signal from noise now when
Yeah.
like anyone can make something that looks at first glance nice. And it takes a bit more evaluation to decide if, design is good, if it follows principles, things like that. The AI is not going to do that. But having said that, you put someone who knows the principles of design behind an AI, or someone who knows how to produce, and give them that as like an enhancement. That's a different story. It's like a coder using an AI to code versus me using an AI to code. Like, I'll be able to make something, but if you put it up against a coder, he'll be able to shred it like cheese, right?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a place for it. Like, I mean, it makes you guys so much more effective in creating, much higher quality content. And then for the rest of us who are just garbage content, like it has made our lives so much easier. And it's great. Like it works for everybody. It has its product market fit, I think. And there is resistance every time. I remember people saying they'd never get cell phones, or people saying, there'd never be a computer in every household. That's too weird and futuristic. Like, we always resist it, and it's usually the older generations. And then within a decade, maybe it's just normalized as something we use. So we do seem to just be resistant to that change, but we always seem to come around. And it's as people use it in interesting new ways, right? Like, I don't think that we want AI to just replace the artists. We want to see what artists can do with these added tools and with this new technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait till like for me, like I see AI, I see where we are right now, but I just keep thinking to like when AI agents really start getting good. That's like for me, like it's one of those things. It's like I look at it like space. Space is so interesting, but so scary at the same time. It's got like kind of that feeling of both, right? Because like it's just the fear of the unknown. There's just so much unknown.
Overwhelming, yeah.
Yeah, right. And when you have AI agents and they start to get really good, they can communicate and do tasks from start to finish. Like what the limits are like boundless. It's amazing, like what they can do and where are we gonna go on the productivity. I know me and you were talking about like on the weekend about like how much can get done with a much smaller team now using AI and getting high quality stuff done with a small team, which is going to help with projects that say you raise a little bit of money or you have you don't need as big of a runway because you don't got to pay a huge staff, or you can make it last a lot longer or whatnot. Oh, did we just lose him?
Oh man, could be the internet. My internet dropped off on 2 calls on me earlier.
Oh my god.
You can keep talking to me. I was totally into what you were saying.
But yeah, like AI agents, like the limits are boundless when they can start fully doing a task from beginning to completion. You can even we were even talking about like video games, like Web3 games. Imagine like you're a single dev. You can get started and start building something and say, hey, I need you. Oh man, I need you to work. The AI is going to say, work on the landscape of the game. I want it to look like this, or I want to build this house. Make the chairs in this style. Yada yada yada. Give me a couple options to work with, and then boom. Okay, I'll pick this option, and then it'll go and put it into your game. Like you tie it into like Unreal Engine, for example.
Wild.
Like
then tools like Hey Elsa. Like I don't know how much you've read about that, but these and Noma. I know they had a disappointing airdrop, I heard, so I didn't feel too bad about losing my Kaido account on that one. I was pretty well placed, and then I was kind of fudding a little bit, thought that sucked, but it turned out to be not that great of an airdrop. But these are intent-based blockchain / operating systems where you just tell the agent, hey, take my wallet, I want to turn like however much transfer 10 Bitcoin to this other wallet, and it's just you just speak what you want to happen. It's like a whole new level of customer service that's transparent and fair. I go to my bank, you might go round and round with like people. It's hard to communicate as people. We all have different communication styles, but AI is so straightforward and can understand and adapt to any level of intelligence or depth of knowledge. Like it's gonna make everything so much easier.
So I think of some of the movies that we've watched. It's like futuristic. You get up in the morning, the shades come up automatically, and then it's like, tell me about the weather today. Okay, what do I need to wear today? Like, this is your schedule. This is all, and it just tells you about everything in your day, what you need to do.
Hey, Jarvis.
Like, yeah, absolutely, exactly. I freaking love Iron Man. It's my favorite Marvel character, guys.
I know.
And that's exactly what it is, and it tells you exactly what to do. Boom. Here's what suit you should wear today. Boom, it's already there. You just slap it on, or maybe it dresses you for you. Who knows?
Yeah.
But like,
and like people will quibble about like I want choice and freedom and all this stuff, but no, you don't. People don't. We wait. Like, I'll spend 45 minutes browsing for a movie to watch on Netflix and then be too tired to watch it by the time. If I had an AI that could just say, I'm in the mood for something like this, these are some similar style movies, and it can just recommend me, like it's going to save it. We're going to enjoy ourselves more by having not less choices, but not having to review all of the choices ourselves. There's some sort of like filtering mechanism that knows us and knows our tastes and will be able to more quickly align us with what we want. Welcome back, dude. Sorry we lost you there for a second. I want to know more about what you are building with this anime. So Mike kind of was teasing me a little bit about it before you got on the call, but what's the project? What are you building? How can we get involved? And what's so exciting about it to you?
Okay, so long story short, basically what I'm trying to make is essentially like a shared anime D&D adventure. So what people are going to be able to do once the project goes live, you'll be able to buy your NFT to like gain access, which also allows you to vote on the storyline and submit your character to the lottery to be selected for the story. So if your character is selected, he's in the story or she's in the story. And if you want to attempt to voice your character, you can do that by like just submitting a voice clip.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so far I've been making the episodes by myself. I've made episode 1, which I showed to Mike over the weekend.
I was gonna say, is it public? Can we show it right now? Can we?
Not yet, but I did. I
Okay.
sent a link to Mike in the Twitter DMs of a recent combat test. So I'm like, right now, what I'm doing is going through all of the like limitations of the AI, trying to figure out what exactly I can do, what I can't, because there's a lot of things it cannot do, like realistically, and it means that I have to go in manually and animate something. So I'm not an animator, so I do the best that I, at least not like a frame by frame animator. So I do the best that I can. But like going forward, the goal is to have at least one artist who is an animator who can like clean up what the AI cannot. So essentially, like I'll do the parts that I can do, and then the animator comes in and does the parts that he can do, which should bring it up to like proper like pro level anime.
Isn't it amazing that we can just like assemble, like we're all so composable in Web3 that we can, like an individual can take an idea and find somebody to come in and like, hey, I have all these skill sets, but I just need a little bit of work done on this. And you have access to this huge network of people already working in the space where you can kind of piecemeal contract out the stuff that your skill set doesn't, quite qualify you for, but like you don't have to hire these agencies that charge exorbitant fees and onboarding costs and charge you so much more for, it's agencies have to mark up so much to be profitable, to cover upper management. It's almost always a waste. And then the good marketers that come on, below in agencies, once they finally learn all the tricks of the trade, they go off on their own. So they're constantly shuffling new people in the door. You're not even really getting that great quality of like marketing or content. People learn to be those freelancers. So it's a really cool way for like the average American to be able to, or, average citizen of the world to be able to come on and like put together an actual business. Where are you at in development, and what are your like launch plans? What's the timeline here?
So right now I'm literally just testing, figuring out how much I can do with the AI is what I'm capable of.
He's fucking around and finding out, basically.
I love that. I posted a really good meme about that the other day.
Well, because the way I see it, like this is the hard part. Like the smart contracts and like the platform and the website, that's all tried and true stuff that I can just lift from someone else. This is the first I've seen where someone is using AI in the way that I'm using it. In that I'm not prompting and like using the prompt. I'm assembling an AI using prompted assets. So for example, if there's a guy kicking someone on the screen, there's 3 people there. There's a background, there's a person in the foreground, a person in the background. Those are 3 separate assets that are separately generated and then rotoscoped or green screened out and put into the anime. So then there's like a whole bunch of actual anime techniques that come into play once you're doing things like that. So like parallax is one of them, where you're moving things at different rates to simulate 3D. What's another one? Like pencil mileage tricks, for example, things that you're like trying to reduce animators' stress because they're going to be doing a fight scene later. So you don't want to show someone flapping their mouth for a fight scene. You show like their eyes being serious. You show
Yeah.
a fire,
Interesting.
you know, all these different things. So there's like tips and tricks that I need to like figure out before I can say I'm confident enough to launch this thing.
Mhm.
But once that's done, honestly, it's just going to be like a website and a mint, and the mint is going to be like for a loot box that will eventually reveal your character. So I'm not too stressed out about that kind of timeline.
Hmm.
So with the NFTs and the mint, do you, if you want to be, for example, you want your NFT to be in the anime, do you get to choose? Do you have some sort of customization of your NFT of your character, or is it just preset? Just like most NFT drops, it's random what you get. There's a bunch of different characteristics, and you whatever you crack it or whatever you get is random.
So right now, what I have planned is it's just like a loot box and it's random. But
Okay.
the way that I work, I have no problem changing something. So for example, if your guy's in like a red and black outfit and you want it to be red and blue, I can do that. That's not hard.
Okay. Cool.
But like in terms of, so what you would be buying basically is the contours. Like I need to know what the outline silhouette of your guy looks like and how he's gonna look on screen.
That's awesome, dude. So have you ever thought, and I was just thinking about, here's the miner in me thinking, a lot of people have built their own rigs for AI with GPUs. I wonder if that would even like for projects like this to have your own in-house AI to animate or generate all this stuff for you. Like, I when I was mining Ethereum, I had like 100 something GPUs, and I'm thinking to myself, man, the AI craze didn't happen yet, and I was like, if I only held that, I wonder if I could have like done something and built it as an AI rig. So have you ever thought about something like that? Is that even possible with something that what you're doing?
I think it's possible. I just don't think it's worth the effort.
Oh,
So
Interesting.
there are a bunch of models that are being developed by Web3 people already.
yeah.
So it's possible that I can just lean into that. It's not just Web3 people. There are people that are developing anime specific models, and I'm just messing with what exists, like not anime specific. So once things get even better, it's only gonna make my job easier. And like you said, we're so composable in Web3. Like if I find a tech stack that works for me, I find a person that works with that tech stack, I'll just pick them up and be like, hey,
Yeah.
this is good for me. Let's do that.
Yeah, because we were talking earlier in the show, like I'm not a huge fan of the whole token model. So I don't know if what you're using, if you're limited by the amount of tokens you have, if you're paying a subscription or something like that. But I find for me, like I run out of tokens really fast, and it gets quite expensive if you want to like even get more. Like I even did the math. Like for example, Opus, I think if you pay for the year, you get like 3,600 tokens, and I blow through like 300 in like 2 weeks, which I that's what I get a month, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. And I only imagine if I streamed every day instead of only 2 days a week, like I can only imagine. So do you have is what you're using like token based like that as well?
I use 6 AIs. Um,
Oh my God.
so some of them are token based, some of them are subscription based.
Okay.
Uh, the one that is probably like my favorite right now for video generation is token based. Um, and like it's expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the
What's
way
that
that
one? Will you share with the class what your favorite is?
it's called Sea Dance.
Sea dance, like the ocean sea.
No, like sea, like look.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, because see, I'm so new to the AI space. Like I'm just farting around with like I know Artlist has like some like generators and stuff like that. It's fun to play with, but like I find like you gotta get good at prompt engineering. Like I feel like you need to take some serious time and put it down for prompt engineering. Is there something that you did to educate yourself on getting prompts the way you want it to get a consistent piece of art coming
You're gonna
out?
hate my answer, dude, honestly. You're gonna hate it.
I'm
I
curious.
I just talk to them until I understand their patterns. And there's no each AI is different. Each AI has a different set of strengths and weaknesses, and that applies to both understanding you and what it can render. So, for example, Gemini or Nano Banana has no idea what left and right is.
Mm.
Like
That's
if you
interesting.
Yeah, like if you try and tell it, I want them on the other side, it'll just like flip them over. It'll add another person. Like it just panics.
Can't compute. Does not compute.
Yeah, at all. Um, ChatGPT is really good at giving you, for example, different angles. So, like, let's say you're in a room, you've generated an image of a room, you tell it, like, turn the camera 90 degrees. It's really good at that.
Okay.
So that's one thing that you need to figure out. You got to like find out, first of all, what is each model good at, and then once you've figured that out, you got to figure out how to get that specific result that you're looking for each model. And sometimes that is a combination of words and images. It's not always just talking to it. Sometimes you have to feed it
Yeah.
reference data.
So I have a question. I just got Chat GPT 5. Shout out my boss at VDEX. And I haven't used it for any image generation. I've just been using it the same way I use normal Chat GPT 4. What fun things can I do with it?
Oh my God. Like you've never done anything with it? There's so
I've
much you can
never
do with
done
it.
any. I mean, I've just been using it the same way with like, help editing copy or, trimming fat off of articles, like take all the stuff that's irrelevant out of this and the normal. Yeah, transparently, I jumped in this project about 2.5 weeks ago. We're launching a go to market tomorrow. So it's been very fast and furious and I haven't had much time to play, but like, what are some low hanging fruits for people like me in Chat GPT to start generating images or marketing, assets?
It's very powerful. Like the way, like, I don't know how to put this. You can make it do anything. It can generate you photorealistic images as long as your prompt is solid. And by solid, I mean like you got to think about everything that you want to see in that prompt. So like if I'm taking if I wanted to show me a photo of something and I want it to look realistic, I can't just say hyper realistic photo. That's good. It'll get you somewhere. But you then need to tell it what you want to see. So like for example, I'm taking a photo of some looking through a window, right? I need to explain to it that we're looking through a window, that there are surface imperfections in the window. You can see fingerprints and dust and dirt, motes of dust in the air.
You need to be a
All that stuff
storyteller.
is, yeah, exactly.
This is
exactly
where
what it is.
my master's is in creative writing. I knew it wasn't a waste. I'm going to crush it with AI.
Imagine if all
Absolutely.
the English majors just get their like revenge on everybody. Like I have the job
Revenge
now.
of the nerds, dude. It's my time to shine.
Isn't it literally like in the Bible? Like literally, what is it? The meek shall inherit the earth or something like that.
Are
Something
you
like that.
calling the literary class the meek?
I
We're all
guess.
crazy and alcoholics. I don't know. I don't know any meek writers. They all have huge egos and.
So you said I was gonna hate your answer, but honestly, I love that answer because, that's how I've learned everything, even crypto. I just trialed and errored everything. I got into mining. I never mined before. I put a graphic card together. Then I got 2 graphic cards, 3, then 8, then 10, then 15. And it was a disaster because I had one rig going down and one rig going up, and this fan blew up and this one melted, and like it was a disaster. But like even everything I've learned in building computers, I never took a course ever. I just did it and failed and did it and failed and learned and screwed around and just put time into it. And so I love that answer because that's something anybody can do. There's no special course. There's no nothing. Just play. And so I'm a mechanic by trade, and my electrical teacher, he was a really great teacher. I love electrical; my best subject. And he said, "Just go play. Here, build a circuit. Yeah. Do it. Just go play, explore." And I love that attitude because that's exactly what I did. I like to just play around, and then you learn and you build a circuit, and then you do something else, and you build a complex circuit all of a sudden. I was like, oh, okay, you can do this. Just like you were saying, you're finding out the limits of what you can do, and the same thing, what I did in my electrical class, same idea. And
fucking around and finding out.
Absolutely, that's why that saying exists. And I implore anybody that wants to learn anything, just do it. Just literally, Nike, just do it. But like literally, just get out there, play around.
Developer at an AI company taught himself Python completely from one book. He went to like 2 college courses. He's like, F that. It's not for me. Yep. Got the book, and 10 years later, he's in senior positions. Like you really can. You don't need college.
No, honestly, I'm at this point right now. Like it's a weird place because I have my daughter's 6, and I want to put her like she's going to school, but I know the school system is meh, and I would rather just teach her like important stuff like finance and this and stuff like I
Yeah.
was like we have you guys have 401ks and and Roth IRAs. We have, let's call it TFSA or RRSP. I didn't even know about that until I was almost like I was just about getting married.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I had no idea. If I wasted so much time, like I could have got it as soon as I started working. I could have got into it if they just taught you in school. But
Well, I don't think the systems are really designed to help people succeed financially. I think the systems are designed to produce workers to fuel the
yeah,
system.
absolutely.
So,
But again, if people have more money, they'll spend more. Therefore,
yeah.
you can tax more. Like, you know what? I don't see a problem with it. Anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. But
Yeah, do we want a conspiracy theory this or what? Because there's a lot of ways we can go from here.
we're gonna have to have a show on that. We're gonna have
Separate show.
a
Yeah.
couple people on. We'll go deep dive in
Yeah.
conspiracies.
We're gonna
and
have you
everything.
back for that one, right?
Yeah.
I'm down. Hey, I had a question. You said something earlier, and I wanted to pick your brain about it, but then I got disconnected. You were saying it would be nice if an AI could choose the next movie for you, or
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's possible. That's coming, right? Like
Yeah.
regardless. But my question for you is, how much privacy are you willing to give up
Oh
for
God.
that to happen?
How much if it caught what's that old, is it Woodrow Wilson? Like, those who would give up a little liberty for a little security deserve neither. How
hmm
much freedom I don't deserve good movies, maybe, is the parallel I'm trying to make there. I don't know, man. I would hope it could all be anonymous, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
these
Sure.
like data layers between like Billions Network is working on, separating the online identity from the real world person, right? So it's like a digital persona and there's a gap between the real world person. How effective and how exploitive. I mean, we're in uncharted territories very, very clearly.
But
I
even
think
just
we are
having
so
transparency, like if they're
we're
using
so
your
far down
data,
this rabbit hole. We've been giving away our data to Facebook for free for
yeah,
years. It's normalized. They
It's
have
very. That's why I'm asking.
normalized us.
but
Go
that's
Because
ahead.
we've.
sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
We're Canadian.
yeah. I was very Canadian of it.
You guys are
The
so nice, by the way.
It's only on the phone. They we've been giving our data away, like you said. Like we've 100% normalized like data harvesting. But the problem is we've entered a time where you can aggregate data, you can like analyze data in ways that we weren't able to before, and you can build profiles on people. Like advertisers are doing this, where they build profiles on people anonymously, supposedly,
Yeah.
but you can tell that person is pregnant. You can tell they live at this address. You can tell they have hives. You can tell they like you know who this person is. You don't have their name, but you have every single thing about them. So once you add things, the reason I'm asking this question is because the next phase of this is brain computer interfaces, and it's gonna be able to read your mind literally.
I know.
So is that
I'm
something you're
freaked
down
out,
with?
but I'm doing it. I'm in first in line for a Neuralink. I don't like.
Ooh.
I used to, I think, be scared of the, maybe more of a traditionalist, but as I've, grown and just, worked both in e-commerce and tech over the years, my attitude towards it has changed. It's inevitable, right? And the people that we want leading these initiatives into the next generations need to be people who are a little bit wary of the tech and need to be people who respect personal and privacy boundaries. Because if we just let all the VCs and everybody else, like, we won't even, it'll be another Facebook situation where we didn't even know, but we've been getting monetized this whole time, like,
Yeah.
that was a shock to a lot of people, maybe not people who worked in our industries, but when you tell your mom that, or a normie that, they're shocked. They're like, well, that doesn't seem right. And like,
Yeah.
they're not going to tell us all the facts, right? Like, they're just not.
See, I was at the Futures conference a couple years ago, and I ran into some people from the DeSci, decentralized science, little group, and it was kind of neat what they were doing. Like, I think people are willing to give up, especially for convenience. They'll give up some of their privacy. I think that's just always going to happen. Everybody values things differently, and this is why, like, different strokes for different folks. Everybody values things differently. We got to have products for everybody. But I like the idea of if they're going to use your data, at least you have the transparency to know or choose where that data gets used, and you know what they're doing with it, and you
Yeah.
can audit it. You know what I mean? Like
Own it and monetize it.
because
If it's
Google,
your data,
Facebook, like they're using it, and you have no idea what they're doing with it at
yeah.
all. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you're gonna be giving your data away, at least have the peace of mind of knowing, choosing where to put that data, where to advertise it, what company you trust or whatever, and what they're doing with it, and they'll tell you what they're doing, and if everything's
But how do
going to
we do
change.
that on a case by case basis when everything? I mean,
Each platform will have its different values and whatnot,
and
right?
that's
Like
why I think
each app.
universal identity layers like Billions, or I hate WorldCoin. I heard a story from a VC that was like, I was at a party in no, it was Daniel Killian that told us that. He's like, I was at a party and people were like so happy to get $10 to scan their eyeballs. Like nobody understands the implications of this stuff. And it's the same, unless you work in this industry, you don't get it,
Can you imagine? Like here's like a futuristic, like cyberpunk, like dystopian. They reprogram, they get your brain because they know your algorithm. You scan your eye, they got your iris, and all of a sudden you walk in your house and here's a clone robot of you. The Terminator is here to replace you.
Don't worry, he's just there to do some chores.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do want one of those Tesla Optimus robots.
I do too.
Because I don't want to fucking do laundry ever again.
Yeah.
My guy, how are we? Okay, I feel like I have like significantly different OPSEC. I would never have a thing walking around my house that you could look through, and like I barely have a fucking Roomba, dude. Like I have the dumbest Roomba that you can get, the one that just bumps into things and turns around.
Yeah.
That's the one I got.
Have you ever seen the one where this guy's dog like crapped on his carpet, but the Roomba just brought it all over the house?
Oh. No.
It turned it into like a market.
Only because I want to watch it.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, these are the big questions, right, that are facing all of us right now. And the thing that sucks is that most people don't even have the information to make informed voting decisions. Like we're going to have politicians creating narratives from this, scare tacticking the future about AI. This is going to become a major political divisive movement. They're going to divide it some way because that's what they do. Instead of unifying around things, they use it hot topics to divide, and it's going to be just a battle of the wills. We're not going to be getting the truth, and then people will blindly follow people they trust, media, that's the system we've built. It's the blind following the blind, leading the blind.
Absolutely. Hey, I wanted to kind of circle back to the anime here. Tell me about the anime, the world, what you're like, the whole backstory, kind of like idea of what the story is and the characters and everything.
What's the vibe?
Yeah, what's the vibe? Thank you.
Sure. So I started off initially. This was going to be an Azuki based thing.
Okay.
Because I have an Azuki. I like the community. I've been hanging out with them for over a year. But then I realized that that's kind of limiting, and I also realized that most of the anime projects in this space suffer from, they got to produce stuff the way that they're producing stuff. They don't have the agility to do stuff at the speed that Web3 tends to want.
Yeah.
So my goal with this project is kind of bridge in between. So like, when Azuki makes something, it takes them a long time, but because it's awesome. And then when it finally comes out, it's like, whoa, it was worth the wait. But at the same time, the people want something. They want to do something with their assets. So the goal with this is to bridge any NFT communities that like anime together in a way that is an enjoyable, like, shared experience. So I was thinking of starting it essentially like springboarding from Azuki, because I know people there. Starting the story out there, getting a little bit of interest from other people, from other communities, and then open up the collections to them. But yeah, like it's just a story that I'm just like coming up slowly with. Like I'm not a writer. I enjoy making things that make people go, whoa, you know what I mean? So if there's a way I can do that and I need to do a little storytelling in between, I'll do that. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When you showed me that episode, I was like, well, and I told you that was probably the best anime or cinematic graphic I've seen in Web3.
Why can't I see it right now? Like, what
We're,
about
we're
like a
gonna
2
I'm gonna
second
show
clip?
after we're done here, before we go to the charts, I'm gonna show that link that he said so everybody can see
Okay,
that little clip.
that's fair.
But yeah, it's honestly it was really really good. And
Thank
again,
you.
like it's gonna only get better, which is amazing to think of about as you, like I said, you're still figuring out the limitations of what you can do, and once you lock that down, I feel like that's gonna even improve it even more. And honestly, I was impressed. I thought before you told me it was AI, I didn't think it was AI. I thought you drew everything, and
Hell yes.
it was really good.
That's a
And
compliment.
no, it was great. I'm a big anime fan. I love anime, so it's right up my alley. I got my daughter in anime. She's watching Spy Family now. I got her first manga
Nice.
books, and like she loves it. So I'm like, yes.
I
let's
think
go.
I've seen Ponyo. Is that considered? And
Yeah.
like Howl's
I know Ponyo.
Castle.
Yeah.
Those are like the only ones I've really seen.
Come on, did you watch Sailor Moon when you were younger? Like Sailor Moon was an anime.
No,
Oh my goodness.
no.
Howl's Castle is a classic, though. That's a great anime.
Which
I
one?
mean,
Yeah.
it's not like Howl's Castle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know.
it's so
The
good,
Ghibli
right?
one. It's great, but it's a movie, so like, it's not what like a lot of people would consider. I mean, it's
Right.
anime. It's like you cannot say Ghibli.
It's
is
more
not anime.
anime is more episodic, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it's like
Not just
you
an
don't
art
get a lot of the
style.
tropes. Like when you watch a Studio Ghibli movie, you don't get a lot of the tropes. You don't get like the long exposition while they're about to battle. You don't get the charging up of like
The Dragon
power,
Ball
the
Z
long-
for the Spirit
Yeah.
Bomb for 10 episodes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Bro, you know that's nostalgia, man. Like, you sit there, I'm gonna tune in next week, watch him charge up for another episode. Like, okay, I'll be
Oh,
there for
man.
the next 20 minutes.
It's like Game of Thrones. Like the dragons are coming. I swear, the dragons are coming. It's like 40 episodes later.
But yeah,
It's
That was-
very
that was-
valid, Mike.
That was like I think that was like a South Park episode where they made fun of Game of Thrones because like the writers like, I promise they're coming. I promise, and they just keep gaslighting them. They're not coming.
That's so funny.
Well, that's awesome, man. I love what you're building here. We're gonna go into charts, so we'll I appreciate you
Show me,
coming
you
on.
gotta show me the clip first.
We're gonna
before chart.
before we go, we're gonna show you the clip right now. Let me just share my screen.
And what's the call to action? Like for anybody who's interested and like there's so many anime lovers obviously in Web3. It's a huge niche here. How do they get involved? How do they follow along? Is it just follow your personal page? I know he's pulling up your page here. Is there a brand page yet?
I don't have a brand page. I don't know if I'm going to launch one yet. I haven't decided.
Okay.
So for now, just follow me. I'll be putting stuff on my page. I'll try and notify everyone as much as possible, and I've made a Discord server, but I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. So I don't want to invite people in and be like, come
Right.
in, look at my empty server. But
It's a big responsibility. Once you start it, like you gotta run it.
yeah, I have to be there. I have to GM. I have to make sure no one's scamming anyone. Like,
Yes.
it's a whole thing.
So make sure you guys are following Thrax on X, and that way you guys can
Yeah,
follow up
it's
and see. What,
Thrax_NFT, right?
Yep.
Just in case.
I got it up
it's
on
a
the
little
screen
on
here.
screen.
so make sure you guys follow him. That way you guys can keep along and follow the journey as he builds this thing out. So we're gonna show a clip now on what he's got building. Oh, hold on. I have this my tab muted so you guys can hear.
Okay,
There
yeah, I
we
was
go.
gonna say I don't hear sound yet.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't hear it, Mike. It looks good.
Can't hear it.
No sound.
You've ruined everything. But this is
could you?
good.
Boom.
It works a lot better with sound. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I could imagine. But the graphics are, I mean, I would have thought that was
I hear it, but I don't know how it works with Restream with
right.
the sound. So, but
To be able-
so make sure you guys go to his post here. Guys, check out his channel, and then you'll hear the music. The music's actually really good. The music's actually really, really good. So make sure you guys check that out. Actually, speaking of the music, how do you make the music? Is it all done with AI as well?
Oh no. So I have two ways. I get either I have done AI, but it's rare that I can get it to do exactly what I want. Like
Yeah.
it kind of like goes on. You know what I mean? It doesn't really know when to go back into like chorus and then when to, and then if you try
Yeah,
and cut stuff with an AI, it you can't really splice it together without feeling that jarring cut.
yeah.
So I just use stock music. And if I really need something custom, I have a couple of friends that are music producers, so I get something
That's
custom made.
amazing. And you know what? There's such a vibrant Web3 music community here
Yeah.
that would be like there's so many. I know a bunch of good artists that like if you ever need anybody, let me know. I got a guy that does a lot of rap and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can hook you up with them and they can, work out something. But it's that's why I love it. You can use this there's Web3 there's a little bit
So
of
good.
everybody, right? Music,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gaming, this, that. So you can kind of pull through the whole ecosystem here and find people and build this amazing anime from everybody in the space, and it's everybody working together, which is awesome. And then AI.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's the goal. Like it feels like that's kind of like the ethos of Web3. We're like all the WAGMI, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
let's make an anime together. I think it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, when you get the NFTs going, I want to check out and maybe get my character in there.
Hell yeah.
A
Sounds
little
good.
modern Mike,
That's
modern Canadian running
wow.
around.
Can we make him look like Borat? Wow, let's go. I want to be animes.
I would actually like to see that, to be honest.
I
He should
mean,
be like
if
the
you
villain.
do you know Mr. Satan from
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He looks like a jacked Borat, basically.
There you go.
You just gotta
Whoa,
shrink him down a little bit.
I am built.
whoa.
I be lifting the weights.
Uh,
My wife, I just lift her all the times.
Does your wife like that, Mike?
Yeah, a big
Tell her to blink twice if she needs help.
Stop!
Dude, well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that with us. I can't wait to share some clips of those, and I'm going to check them out so I can hear them with sound after the podcast is over. But I think we're going to do some charts. Mike's been getting wrecked in the market, so he's going to tell us all the things he's done wrong, and I can't wait to hear it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming on, brother. It was nice meeting you, and I'm looking forward to as more episodes come out and more things come on. I'm excited to see what you guys got coming up.
Yeah, we'll have to
It was
have
a
you back
pleasure,
on.
guys. Thanks for having me. This was a pleasure.
All right, man.
Nice
Take
talking
care.
to you.
Later, brother.
Chat soon.
Alrighty, let's get into some charts.
I just want the whole audience to know that before he bamboozles you into thinking it's been, no, he never does, but he openly admitted it's been a rough week for him.
Oh my god.
So if you had a bad week trading, thank God
You know
I
what?
didn't, because I've been so busy. Like it's not your fault.
A lot of people had a bad week. It was a crappy market.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oof, I don't even want to show you. Like, look at bang, 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 bang. Dude, ever since I joined VDEX, I haven't been doing so good. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
But,
Are we bad luck? Or
It's no.
skill
It's
issue?
just the market has been crazy. I'll show you what I was like. I'll show you what I was trading. It was just insane. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. I think it was okay. So I was trading down here. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart,
Yeah.
and we were down here. Okay, and as you can see, we were up and we're down. Look at these wicks, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
They were destroying everybody in any direction. And to be honest, this was a textbook rising, a bear flag.
No,
Right.
that looks. I would have longed that, dude.
So when you come
With
into
my limited knowledge, I would have been like, "That's a longer right there."
so when you come into a downtrend, and you come to rising, usually you break down. And I've showed you guys this many
Yeah.
times before. When we're in a downtrend, we consolidate up, we come down. Come up, we come down. So textbook would tell you to short this, right? And the market
Well,
was.
what caused the reversal? In hindsight, when you're looking at it, why did it go the other way?
To be honest, this is my take on it. The market is just trying to gather as much money. The market makers are liquidating people left and right. So they're just gathering as much money as they can, fees, whatever, liquidations. Like that's
So I need to be trading in dark pools.
that's how it is. I'll tell you one thing though. It's all about momentum of the move. So when you have,
Yeah.
for example, like a new all-time high, and you've topped out, you come down. The first consolidation, you're more likely to continue down. and then you consolidate and you come down. The more this happens, eventually it's going to stop. So that's what I say. You trade the patterns until they stop working, and when they stop working, and I've said this on the stream many times before,
Yeah.
then you have to change your thinking and start. Then the trend is changing. So if I traded here and we came back up here, I could have traded this and shorted it, and I would have been right. Same thing here. I could have
Yeah.
shorted this and then come down, and that was two. The third one is the risk becomes now of shorting that it's going to eventually reverse course because nothing goes
Right.
up in a straight line all the time and nothing goes down in a straight line all the time. So that's just, and it's really hard because you got to be in the market at the right times. I've noticed like Monday to Wednesday are like the best time to trade between 7 a.m. Eastern and like noon. And it's hard because like for me, I'm at work, so it's really hard for me to get trades in unless I'm there on my phone. So I've been getting chopped out because I've been getting in the trades in the evenings, and the liquidity is not there because like the traditional people, the markets have closed, so they're not trading anymore. They're done, right? You have, or sometimes you'll get a trade that pops off in the middle of the night because London or Asia have woken up and they're starting their trading day, right? So you have to, if you're going to be in trading, you got to really understand the time frames. When is a good time to trade because you're just trading with an edge. You're more likely to win at that point, and that's why I like to trade when I have an edge. That's why I trade certain patterns. And again, trading certain times a day, you got to do what you got to do. Unfortunately, I can't trade all the time, so I got to take what I can when I can. But that's why we use risk management to be in control of what we're losing. Like I lost like 4 or 5 trades in a row. I only lost like $30. Like so, it's nothing I'm gonna lose sleep over.
Why did we miss Zcash, Mike?
Zcash?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used Zcash. What is Zcash?
Nobody, and it's been around forever, and all of a sudden it like ran like crazy.
You know what it is? I feel like some people are like, hey, how can I create a pump and dump? But look up. No, seriously, whales that took profit that have money would be like, I'm gonna go pick a random coin that hasn't had no attention and the market cap is juicy. I'll throw some money into it. It'll pump. It'll create hype. People come in and then they sell and then your exit liquid. I honestly think that's what it is.
I mean, it's not a terrible thesis. I think that's valid. I think that probably happens.
So let's take a look at the market. Let's make sense of it. Honestly, I've kind of taken a break from the charts for a couple of days. When I have a winning streak and a losing streak, I like to take a break. Like sometimes I'll take a week off. I'll
reset.
Well, I'll reset. The stochastic RSI, the RSIs will reset.
No, I mean mentally reset. Mike.
No, both. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mentally, and that also allows the charts to reset.
Right.
And again, I like when I was successful. Give me 1 second. When I was successful, I was trading when the market was frothy.
Right.
All coins were coming up. Everything was pumping. That's when you're more likely to win. You just follow the trend until the trend is over.
Yeah.
Until you start.
Everybody's a genius when it's pumping.
Exactly. You have to, again, I'm not the greatest trader. I'm still a student. I'm not a professional trader by any means, not financial advice. I'm still learning. You're along this journey with me learning. Like just because I say, hey, I think this is gonna happen doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It's open to interpretation. Right? But you have
even the pros when they say things are gonna happen, they rarely happens.
Absolutely. So what I see here for Bitcoin is the trend changed, right? We came up, we made a higher, we made a higher low here, and then another higher low, and we're bouncing off here. So things are just coming up, right? This is the 4-hour chart. So the RSI is coming up, stochastic RSI is coming down a little bit. So we still have some room to move. We could go sideways for a little bit. That's fine. But I'm gonna start with the big picture, and I'm actually gonna work my way down. So let's look at the monthly, because this is what I was talking about before. When we had the big pullback, I had something here. I have some of my work that I put here. So
yeah,
every time we've had a new all-time high in this bull market, we've come back down to the 21-day moving average.
Yeah.
So back in February or March of 2024, we had a new all-time high for Bitcoin, 73,000, and then came back. It took 7 months, and we came back down. Each candle here is a month, and we came back to the 21. New all-time high. We went to 100, and I believe it was 109,000. Back to the 21. So my thought process here, because the trend is your friend till the end, is that we were going to come back to the 21-day moving average um, again on the monthly. And it makes sense because you have it here, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
even though we've pumped back up for Bitcoin, like everyone's like, oh my God, we're back. No, no, we have,
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's rolling over again almost.
we
Like,
could be back, but you
yeah.
have to be open-minded to every opportunity or every option, because I'll tell you the monthly RSI is high. Like peaked
Yeah.
out at the top, came back down, peaked out at the top, came back down. Again, we came back down, so we could peak out the top again and like make it go for a new all-time high. Again, very possible, but we didn't come back to the 21. So I have a couple things that could happen, a couple options. So we just straight come back down to the 21, which would be somewhere around at this point, because I have 95 to 96K, but it's been a couple days since then. So now the 21-day moving average is at 98K, so that we can
Okay.
delete that because that'll probably be around 98K. We could go sideways, and this will just naturally come up back in the price action, and that's fine. So we don't have a huge dump. We just go from there. I'll tell you, the monthly ended green, and the next month has started green. But
Mm-hmm.
again, we don't know where that's going to go. They usually start and they revert in a different direction. They usually make wicks.
Yep.
What I will tell you though, as we zoom in a little bit here, the September ended below a resistance here. So we got rejected by 115,000 resistance. So again, we made a lower high essentially, right? We have this candle here. We went up all the way up to 124.7, 124.8, and this month is a lower high, right? And I've told you guys this many times before, rounding tops are not good,
Yeah.
and rounding bottoms are good, right? Like so
Yeah.
this is why my thought process here was that we still are due for another pullback, and again, I don't want to scare anybody, but I'm telling you right here, this could be shoulder, head, shoulder, right? And if
I think
that
you're scaring people, Mike.
and if
Stop scaring the hose away.
and if that's
We want people to buy.
if that's the case, that could bring you down to 72,000, right? Right. So you have to be open minded. That could happen. Have that in the back of your head. The
Yeah.
RSI and the monthly is very overheated here, and the MACD is slowing down a bit. Doesn't mean we can't go on a parabolic rally. It could just boom, all of a sudden parabolic. These things don't make
Right.
sense anymore, and it just keeps ripping. But
It's good to have an idea of the realm of possibilities that look statistically possible based on the charts.
yeah. So I would trade. If you're trading right now, I would be very cautious and keep that in the back of your head that you really got to watch these candles and see where they're gonna go. Everybody on Twitter, what are they saying? October, October, October. When everybody agrees on one thing, the opposite usually happens. So keep that also in the back of your head, because
maybe Bitcoin goes down and everything else goes up, Mike.
well, I'm starting to play with the idea that this cycle is going to be longer.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
I've heard that multiple times, like not just from you, but I've in spaces, and it's just not behaving.
So I like
in a
to
way
watch.
Yeah.
I like to watch Raoul Paul, and he's a great macroeconomist, and he's basically talking about how the business cycle is just getting started because they took so long to cut rates, and that this cycle and even the debt refinancing cycle has been delayed because they rolled the debt again back during COVID, I believe. So like they got an extra year, and even for me personally, like when COVID happened, I got a better mortgage rate on my house. So now I was supposed to, my mortgage was supposed to expire this year, but I got one extra year, the end of 2026. So, and the government said the same thing. When we had historically low rates, a lot of things got refinanced. And now the debt's going to take an extra year to roll over and have to refinance the debts again. And that's why we're probably going to lead into at least early in 2026, early February. So that could mean that we could have a dip now for Bitcoin and still go to all-time high, still go to 200K, still go to whatever targets we're going to go to, and still have this dip and live through it. So that could be a realm of possibility. So that's where I'm leading with all this. So we'll have to watch this very carefully. That's the monthly. Let's go to the weekly now. Weekly. Okay, so the
And
weekly.
I'm gonna stick around, Mike. I'll stick around until the end of the Bitcoin chart, and then I'm gonna have to hard stop tonight. But you keep going, just because we're launching tomorrow, so I still have a lot of work
Absolutely, no worries, no
to
worries.
do.
Honestly,
But
there's not a whole lot going on. I'm just gonna run through our usual list here, AVAX and all that.
yeah,
But again, Bitcoin's the biggest thing because right now it's the king, and I personally believe that money is actually going to start to roll back into Bitcoin, and I'm going to go through Bitcoin dominance too and show you that. So weekly here, we could be flagging out on the weekly, so that's a possibility here that I can see. We're fighting with that 21-day moving average, which is kind of what you want. You want to flag with the 21-day moving average. So
Mhm.
look for a potential flag on the weekly. That could bring you, if it breaks out here, to 143,000. So 130. I personally believe, and I've said this for since the bear market, that I think based on previous tops of last cycle, that
Mhm.
135K is like my target, like my top target for Bitcoin.
Yep.
I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But that's my honestly, that's my sell target. I will at 130,000, I'm probably gonna be like 80% out of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that's
You're so good at taking profits, Mike. I'm so proud.
you know what? It's a lot of
I'd be like, it's going to
screwing up.
200.
Dude,
I
I've screwed
swear.
I screwed up for 8 years. This is my third cycle. It's the first one I've taken profits in.
Okay.
So
Well, they
it's
say this is my second bull market, so I'm still retardio. I have an excuse. You don't. That's
so
fair.
the weekly looks better than the monthly. Stochastic RSI in the bottom, curling up, coming back up from the bottom line. RSI pointing back up. MACD, the red is slowing down. We're in, there's a little gap here too. If we beat this point of control in the VRVP, we can come right up and there's like nothing here. So um I'm more leaning to bullish, and the monthly just gets denied, and the monthly will play out maybe later. Maybe it takes
Mhm.
longer for the monthly play out. Maybe instead of making a head and shoulders, we make like a head, a shoulder, make like some like complex head and shoulders, because that's happens multiple times in the past. We could
Mhm.
definitely do that, or it can just go banana zone parabolic, and that's what a blow off top is. The charts won't make sense. It'll just keep going,
Yeah.
and then boom.
Yeah.
By the time you know it,
Those are my
you've
favorite
dumped.
days when they're just like shooting up and shooting down. You're just shorting and longing, and
That's what's gonna happen. It'll just be a
yeah,
frenzy.
I'm so ready for it.
So the weekly
I'm gonna
looks
make it all
pretty
back
good.
on that day. All of it.
Everybody's gonna look like a genius. Everyone's gonna be
Yeah.
winning every trade. It doesn't matter. Everyone's gonna be talking, and that's when retail will come in. I'll be like, yo, I made
Yeah.
this much money, and that's what we want because we want
Yeah.
everybody to come
We
into
need them
crypto.
as exit liquidity.
Honestly,
Nobody tell the normies I said that.
this is the way I look at it. People come in. A lot of people get burned, unfortunately, because they didn't do the research. But some people stick around, and that's how I got in. I came
Yeah.
in, I made some
Every
money,
wave.
I screwed up a lot of times, so I'm like, man, this crypto thing is cool, and I started, and I stuck around, and I read about it, I researched about it more, and then and I stayed. I'm here, like that's it. That's my life. I'm gonna be in crypto forever now, and and that's organic growth. It's people come in, some people leave, some people come back. Maybe somebody they screw up this cycle, and then they like, oh, it's a scam, and then it comes back, and next cycle they get in, like, oh man, I should have stayed in, and that's it. I'm not gonna make this mistake again, and they stay in forever. So that's kind of the way I look at it of how organic growth works in the market. But yeah, Bitcoin on the weekly looks pretty good. Let's go to the 4 hour. Again, we can even use the same flag here.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in.
So little. There we go.
Yeah, so we can just mess around in here. I tell you one thing. I drew this blue line here. I don't know if you guys can see it. This blue line, we went down, we held that support very, very well. We lost it here, right back up. Lost it a little bit here, came back up.
Yeah.
So it's respecting 109K. And you remember the previous dip we had a little while back? We went right down to 108. I think we went down to 107, but like 109 was like that level we just stuck at. And we're doing it again. So 109 is proved to be a really good support level.
Okay.
So we may come back to it again, but like if we bounce in this pattern here, this is uptrending, right? So
Yeah.
we're gonna make
And this is the
even
4 hour you said? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So even if we come to the top of the channel, come back down, bounce off 109 again, come back up, we're coming up. The next bounce will be higher until we blow up. So I'm still pretty bullish, and we have a pretty big gap in the VRVP here, and that's why you're seeing these moves here. You're just gonna bounce around here until you finally get it past here and whoop, off to the races.
Yep.
So Bitcoin looks
Ready
good.
for it.
Again, and because Bitcoin looks good, so does the altcoins. Ethereum's has come back up. We lost my pattern, but then right back into the pattern. We're at the
There were
bottom.
a couple rough days, Mike. The
whole market.
MoonPay intern was following everybody until ETH was back above 4K, and I think they followed like 20,000 people.
Yep. And then
it's been rough out here.
We have this line here. I also drew this support line. So what I was doing was I've noticed a little trend. I noticed that when we have pullbacks, sometimes we come back to the previous top of a previous move. Like we came back and that was the top. And that's exactly what Ethereum did. We came back and we retested $3,800. And I told you guys last week, I thought Ethereum was going to $3,800. I told you on Tuesday, and I told you on my Wednesday stream.
And then you longed it anyways.
I didn't trade it at all. I don't like the. To be honest, I tried to do a couple shorts, but I'm not a big fan of shorting in a bear market, in a bull market, because you're trading against the market, so you're losing that edge. You're more likely to fail,
right,
in a bull market, and you're more likely to win in a bear market if you're shorting.
Yeah.
So I just don't do it. I'm not confident that like I'm some good trader. I'm gonna know that I'm gonna like do really well and I'm better than the whole market. I'm not better than anybody, so I'm just gonna trade when the market's on my side. We held that line, $3,800, came up, make a higher low, and then that's it. And that's what you want to look for, right? That's what I've talked about this before. You want to wait for the reverse of the trend, right? Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. You want to wait till you think maybe this is the bottom, okay? But you don't get into the trade. You don't get into the trade there. You come up,
wait for confirmation,
right? And then you consolidate, you flag out by the 21-day moving average, and you wait for it to make a higher low, and then you long here, you long this channel here. If you believe you're going to go long, because the reverse trend, this is the retest. You get in here, and then you're up all here, and then your stop loss is below here, right?
Yep.
And then you're good, and then you can, as it pumps up, you can start moving your stop loss to here, then to here, and then to here, then to here, and then you just follow the move, and you're guaranteed to make money that way. That's it.
Right.
Okay, so again, because Bitcoin went up, everything else went up. I have to show you Bitcoin dominance.
Yes.
This is what we were talking about. This is what I told you guys to look out for. Let's go to the daily chart because it just looks a lot prettier this way. Again, we've talked about this earlier. You follow the trend until the trend ends. And the trend looks like it ended here. Right? We came up, we broke down, came up, we broke down, came up, broke down, and here we are. We're above here now. Reverse trend, rounded bottom. Right? Our side went into the red and at the bottom, and we had to wait for this bouncing, and it's starting to come up now. So now this is where I was talking about. My thinking is now we're gonna get ready for that last, possibly the last and final leg for Bitcoin, or another leg for Bitcoin. But money is, in my opinion, money is moving back into Bitcoin, and we're looking at Bitcoin dominance to come up and probably come up to the 200-day moving average at like 62% or around there. It might continue to trend down over time. So maybe around 60% or 62%. So look for that to happen. And that's exactly what happened with Tether dominance. I told you guys, like I said, I'm not perfect, but sometimes I call it right on. And I said, and I got to find the clip for this, because I told you, Bitcoin or Tether dominance looks like it's going to make a move to the upside, get rejected by the 200-day moving average, and come down. And it did. That's exactly
wild. You totally called that.
Exactly.
Good job. I'm proud of you. I'm going to make this a clip for tomorrow. And I'm going to be like, look, Mike was really right.
So with Bitcoin dominance going up and Tether dominance going down, I have to believe that money is flowing into Bitcoin. And that's why altcoins are holding steady, but they're not going crazy right now.
Right.
So if you're going to trade Bitcoin, if you're going to trade altcoins, you may not be as successful trading altcoins, because Bitcoin is going to take the lead right now. And altcoin pairs are probably going to bleed a little bit against Bitcoin or just go sideways. So we've come down again. Tether dominance could bounce right here because we're right at the 21. So we got to wait for it to maybe lose the 21. But all in all, I believe this channel is going to break down, and we're going to look at 3.5% for Tether dominance. It's just a matter of when.
A couple nice, like, solid separate confirmations of your thesis just from the chart, so that, like, I'm starting to see how you put together your trades. You have multiple ways that you're like, okay, I see this pattern. Where do I validate in some other sources that, this pattern is likely to continue?
That's my mechanic brain. My mechanic brain has to figure out how the machine works and how
I like
the
that.
gears turn.
Mine would not work. I look at those lines and I'm like, you have autism and you just make things up and draw lines on the chart.
Honestly, I probably do. Right?
Fair.
I probably do. I did have.
All of us have a little bit of the tism here.
Yeah, absolutely.
ADD something, I don't know.
It's a superpower. Don't make things up, Colin. That's hilarious. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. So like altcoins are, they're gonna hold their own. But I think Bitcoin is going to be the king right now. And we're going to look at that next move to the upside. When we have that move to the upside for Bitcoin, that next leg, then you're going to look at altcoins, because when this profit taking starts coming out of Bitcoin, you better be ready for your altcoin bags.
And so if altcoins are kind of dipping alongside the Bitcoin run, good time to get in position.
I'll be honest though, I can't see other altcoins going absolutely crazy until Ethereum securely makes an all-time high. Ethereum will lead the altcoin market.
What if it doesn't happen this cycle though, Mike? Like
it will. Okay.
Everybody,
how many people kept saying this cycle, and I'm sure you've seen this on your timeline.
Yeah.
Ethereum is dead, boom, all of a sudden 4,900. We made it.
That's true.
We did make an all-time high, and it didn't happen. I would actually go watch Benjamin Cowan. He's amazing at predicting this stuff. I watch him a lot because every time I get bullish in the market, I go watch him because he brings me back to earth. Because it's well,
I don't like him already. I like to live in a delusional state of up only.
There's certain people I pick and choose to watch because there's so many influencers out there, so much noise, but time and time again there's certain people that have been signal out of the noise, and he breaks it down. This guy used to work at NASA. He's like a freaking genius. But anyways, he showed the previous cycle, and Ethereum did the same thing. It made an all-time high, but it didn't hold it for very long, and we had a dip. Exactly what just happened. And so I believe, and I agree with this theory, that when we do make a new all-time high for Ethereum, securely, we blast through it and make a new all-time high for Ethereum.
A convincing all-time high.
Yes, that's when
not a pathetic one.
That's when all the altcoins will pop off.
Right. That will signal.
And look what they've done when Ethereum just made a small all-time high, right? It just barely above its previous all-time high. And look at some of the altcoins, right? It's going to happen. And speaking of which, the one that's the strongest that I've seen holding up very well was AVAX.
Obviously.
AVAX has been killing it, man. It's been holding up very well, which this is what you want to look for when you're having dips. And this altcoin is I think we had that dip. It went down $3? I think it went down to $27, and that was it. Right back up to 28. Stayed at 28 for a bit, and then we went to 30 today. AVAX has been absolutely killing it. And I just keep hearing about it, keep talking about it, and
it's the narrative. It's the institutional adoption
narrative. Its volume going up. Everybody wants AVAX.
Clear edge, I think, that AVAX has over. They have it's like they found their thing, right? Gaming, they kind of had an edge, but it wasn't scalable enough. And then I don't remember what was after game, but real world institutional adoption, AVAX has, because they haven't been that big meme coin pump and dump, well-known chain. They've built a very professional reputation, and leadership on the team is solid and connected in the real world. And because they have kept a cleaner image, it's a very friendly blockchain for both governments and institutional investors and everybody else to come into and not feel hey, this is a huge, we're risking our brand by partnering with Solana, right? If I'm a big whatever, I was gonna name something, but I can't think of it. If I'm working at one of the Charles Schwab or something, I'm not putting my neck out there on Solana, right? But with the AVAX narrative that they have going and the partnerships with Web2, they just PayPal is available now on AVAX.
Visa, FIFA,
it's just unstoppable.
This is what I love so much about it. When I first got into it, it was gaming. Okay, it just hit AVAX just hit $30 again. Oh, now 29 again.
We'll be back.
When I got into it, it was just gaming, and everybody kind of knew it as the gaming chain. But it's so much more There's
Yeah.
so many different things that it
They're
is.
just cooking all these
These
layers and launching them at
RWAs,
the right time.
yeah,
They have something for everything.
DeFi RWAs, gaming, like
Yeah.
institutional, like treasuries, like there's so much stuff in it. Like that's why I love it, because I keep saying like different strokes for different folks, and you're successful in all these different avenues, which I absolutely love. And how can you not have like all-time highs in volume and usage, right?
Right.
It's Metcalf's law in
It
live
feels
action.
good. Like it's, there's been a lot of AVAX holders that have been around for a long time and like had to, it's a later chain than a lot of the earlier, Solana. It's been around
So
much less time. And it takes some time to build the momentum and the narrative and to like discover the culture of your company. Like that's an organic process that takes years, but I think like it's really gelling at the right time for them, as we come into Q4. And I'm looking forward to some AVAX all-time highs in the next couple weeks.
let's go.
Not financial advice or whatever,
So
but
I'll show you here, because I'm a student. I have my cheat sheets. Can you see it?
I can't even.
I
Oh yeah,
my
yeah.
green screen is screwing it up. I have
Ruining it.
laminated sheets of patterns and this and that, because when
You're such a nerd, dude.
I totally am. So when I study the charts, I'm looking at my cheat sheets. I'm looking at the patterns and looking at how to set up a trade. That's how you do it, right?
Well, and that's why we're composable too, right? I mean, it's the same thing. Like you don't have to be an expert on everything in this space, but you have to build a network that is balanced. And like where I am weak, I have friends who are strong, and that helps you overall perform better in the space, whether it's via working or you're a trader or you're a NFT collect, like your network really is. And we've never before in human history been able to network at this scale and at this speed. So it's an exciting time. Like we're going to look back in 10 years, the world's going to look so different. And we're going to be like, we were there when like the information highway really accelerated and got super connected, and then just these astronomical change, or we'll blow ourselves up, I guess, is the other alternative.
Well, I'll tell you, our bullish talk about AVAX pushed it back over $30. But what I will show you for AVAX,
I'm posting that clip tomorrow. You're welcome.
What I will show you for AVAX, according to my cheat sheets, and we have what's called a hidden bullish divergence. You have from here to here, you have the stochastic RSI coming down while price is moving up. So a bullish divergence will play to the upside more often than it doesn't. So that's what I want to see. And you're kind of starting to see the beginning of it, because we've kind of bounced off
it a little.
And we're curling up, and the price kind of looks like it's coming up. So I would watch for AVAX and maybe make a move. It's not quite in a flag. Maybe if even that's the daily. So let me zoom in. So whatever you look at in a chart, daily, monthly, whatever, it's the same thing. You're looking at the same thing. The only difference is you get more information by zooming in. So you're zooming into the same thing and getting more candles. So you can you can see a little bit more information. That's all it is, right? It's just a magnifying glass. So the daily looks pretty good. Looks like we came up, we made a higher low, and it looks like for me, the next stop is breaking this high right here and making a higher high. So let's zoom in and look at the 4-hour. So the 4-hour looks like we're kind of just hugging the 200-day moving average. Actually, if anything, actually we're above it. So we kind of lost it. We came back up. We made a little bit of a consolidation, pump back up again, consolidation up again, back again above the 21. So we're lifting off from this 200-day moving average. So it could be something similar to what Bitcoin did. It looked like it was making a bear flag, right? And all of a sudden the trend just ended, right? So this can go two ways, in my opinion. This can be another leg to the downside and go back to $25, or it's going to reverse the trend and we're going to continue.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Don't say that out loud.
No, but I'll tell you one thing. As long as we're above the 200-day moving average, I'm bullish. Pretty simple. 4-hour 200-day moving average will be, you're going to be more successful than you're not. Every time you can backtrack this by looking at the chart. Above the 200-day moving average, bullish, below bearish, right?
Yep.
Above it, bullish. And like I said before, many times, pretty much every stream we talk about this. When the white line here, the 21-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, the blue line, it's usually a good sign, right? So same thing here. We're looking at we're the 21-day moving average actually already is above. It crossed
Yep.
here. So hopefully we stay here. Maybe it can come back down and bounce off it. But as long as we're above this 200-day moving average, I have no reason to worry.
Okay.
And then again, same thing with the 1 hour. So the 1 hour is below the 200-day moving average, but looking like it's flagging on the above the 21-day moving average. So that tells me that we're gonna come. The 1 hour is gonna come for the 200-day moving average, right? So I would put this in a flag right here, and boom, right here. So if you want to make a trade right now, on the 1 hour, again, this is not a huge move.
Right.
It's a small little.
But at like
here.
20x leverage, it's not a bad move.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't trade it. I like to. We'll see what it brings up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like a 3-to-1. Yeah, actually, no, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Actually, 5.75. So you can do a trade like this. You can put it below the 21-day moving average. So this big wick here. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it's a lot better. We're going to give you guys, before we end this trade, we're going to give you, or end the stream, we're going to give you a trade in AVAX. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go, you're in the middle of the channel, which is kind of nice. So getting in the middle of the channel is nice. So you probably get it now. I would go to the middle of this wick right here, which lines up with right here. And it's just, give it a little bit of wiggle room just below the 21-day moving average. That way we'll have to lose this structure to be able to fail this trade. So the bet here would be that we're going to go and take over the 1 hour 200-day moving average, right?
Yeah.
If we lose this trade, it's probably going to come up, get rejected by it, and pop and reverse course, right? So you're looking at a move up to potentially 31.6 bucks. Your entry would be now, and your stop loss would be here at around 29.7. So if you were to set up a trade, you would take, say for example, my trading portfolio is $1,000 divided, or not divided by, $1,000 times 0.01, which is 1%. $10 is 1% of my $1,000 portfolio, and then I would divide that by my stop loss, which in brackets it will show you here on TradingView, 1.11. So 0.0111. That is your stop loss, right? Yep. So $900 is your position size. So you'd go to your exchange and you would go like this. You would go for Bitcoin. That's not Zcash. Well, I'm not trading Zcash.
We should have been.
So your position size would be $900. Your take profit would be, I think it was our take profit, I believe we had it here at.
You're on AVAX, but you're making a Bitcoin trade, bro.
31.6. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Well, we will. Can you tell me?
Got him.
So 31.6 would be our take profit, and our stop loss was, I believe, was it 27? No, 29.7. So 29.7. So you would risk $9 for a $47 win. That's how you would set
up. I like how it shows all that on there.
That's why I loved VDEX, because honestly, it was like I'm familiar with using weeks, and it does it exactly the same way. So when I like when I can calculate my stop loss and my position size, and it tells me and it lines up exactly with what I calculated. So here you go. There's a trade for AVAX if you want to take it. That's a pretty good risk versus reward ratio right there, and you don't have to take profits right at the top. You can hit you can even put it right here. We can say we that's move as I'm correct, and we do get rejected by the 200-day moving average.
Right.
You can take profits right at the 200-day moving average, which is $30, 30.5. So you can take your take profit to 30.5, and you'd win $14, right?
Yep.
So you can do that as well, or take some off the table. And
I'd put mine at like 50. I'm holding the 50. That's why I always lose my trades too.
$50.
One of these days I'm gonna be right.
Hey, if this thing hits $50, it's a $598 win. Just letting you know.
That's right.
But again, the problem is we'll probably come back to this level, so you'll probably get stopped out.
Well, I know.
If you're gonna,
that's why I lose. But one of these days, it's just gonna be one. It's gonna be. I'm gonna long it on a day that it just absolutely rips, and I'm gonna make it all back.
Well, I'll give you a piece of advice. If you want to do a big trade like that, this is what you got to do. It's a different strategy, but it's a little bit of a riskier strategy. You can trade the big time. You trade the big time frames, like the monthly, the weekly, the daily, right? And what you do is you do a trade. Say for example, you want to get in now, and the weekly looks like we're fighting with a 200-day moving average. We come back above that. It's gonna be pretty nice. So if you say for example, I say here, I'm going to say this is going to go to $50. Okay. I would enter now and you get in a trade. And instead of being in right here, you'd be in isolated, you'd be in cross, right? So what happens is when you're at a cross trade, there's no liquidation price. There's no stop loss. The difference is as the price goes down, say it's going long, as the price goes down, you're losing money in your account. And you get liquidated when your account goes to zero. So what a lot of traders do that have the money, they fund their way through it. So if you have a big So if you have a big dip, they buy more, they add to their position, or they have enough money in their trading portfolio to be able to. If I say I don't believe we're going to see $19 again, I don't think we're going to see $20 again. I'm going to put a long in, and we can wiggle around and whatever. My trade may be in the red for a while, but as long as I have enough money in my trading portfolio, I can fund my way through those dips, and then eventually I'm going to be right. And then it's almost like a spot trade with leverage. Right. But you have
I like that. I think that's the kind of thesis, because I forget that I buy them too, right? Like I'm not good at the internet.
But you have to have in the morning. You have to calculate, you have to have enough money in your account because
we're gonna go over a math class on the next episode of how I do
that.
That's like tune in next week. If you want to actually tune in next week, we do have some special guests. Charts may go late, or I don't know if we may have a big panel next week, so we'll see. Boom. Things popping, things hopping. I am going to sign off for the evening. I have some work to do. Are you going to keep it going for a minute?
Honestly, I think we're good. It's okay. Again, Bitcoin dominance going up, Tether dominance potentially going down. Big money coming into Bitcoin, and altcoins may take second fiddle while Bitcoin gears up for its next leg. But it doesn't mean altcoins are, even if Bitcoin goes up, altcoins will also go up, just in retrospect, not as high as Bitcoin. And I gave you an AVAX trade. That's all you need, right? You only need more than that.
That is all you need. Right? Bitcoin bullish, AVAX trade, that's bullish.
All right, so let's see if by tomorrow that trade, is breaking to the upside.
And I'm going to call you, I'm going to tweet this with Mike was wrong if you're wrong. I can't wait.
This is not financial advice.
All right. Well, everyone have a good night. We will see you next week. And we'll put some announcements out. It should be a pretty fun episode.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week.